Urban cities in India have long been the engines of economic growth, bustling with ambition and opportunity. They stand as hubs where young professionals flock to pursue their dreams, while elders settle into homes built with a lifetime of hard-earned savings. These cities offer the promise of prosperity, innovation, and upward mobility, making them attractive to millions. However, the very cities that inspire dreams are also increasingly becoming the places where those dreams are cut short. The rapid pace of urbanization has led to a decline in the quality of life as cities struggle to cope with escalating pollution, air, water, noise, and even light pollution. This environmental degradation now overshadows the aspirations of their residents, jeopardizing health and well-being in the heart of India's economic powerhouses. As of mid-October 2024, the Air Quality Index or AQI across various Indian cities highlights significant pollution levels, especially in Delhi, which has recorded an AQI of 283, indicating poor air quality. This follows a severe spike, with Anand Vihar reaching ever 400 in the recent past. World Air Quality Report clearly stated 35 of the world's 50 most polluted cities are in India. Delhi is consistently ranked as the most polluted capital city globally with an annual PM 2.5 level of 84.1 micrograms per cubic meter, far exceeding WHO's safe limit of 5 micrograms per cubic meter. A Lancet Commission report from 2020 highlighted that air pollution caused 17.8% of India's total deaths in 2019. The primary pollutants were PM 2.5 and ground-level ozone, severely impacting lung health and increasing mortality from respiratory diseases. In terms of noise pollution, a 2020 study revealed that in more than 80% of monitoring stations across 7 major Indian cities, noise levels exceeded these prescribed limits. And the problem does not stop here. A study in India showed that 30% of elderly people in urban environments experience significant sleep disruptions due to noise levels. This leads to conditions like insomnia, fatigue, and cognitive decline. Another study by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health revealed that elderly individuals exposed to chronic noise pollution, such as living near busy streets or airports, have a 30% higher risk of developing dementia and other cognitive impairment. Research from the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay, found that cities like Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai have seen a significant rise in light pollution. The research indicated that artificial light levels in these cities have increased by 30 to 50% over the last few decades, affecting environment and affecting circadian rhythm of animals and humans. According to International Dark Sky Association, 2020 light pollution disrupts sleep patterns in nearly 60% of the urban population in India, contributing to various health issues including anxiety and depression. And what makes it worse is that even the water we drink is not safe. According to National Health Profile of India 2021, contaminated water contributes to approximately 1 lakh deaths annually in India, with millions more affected by waterborne diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid. Last but not the least, e-waste is a growing concern, with India generating about 3.23 million metric tons of e-waste in 2021, as reported by the Central Pollution Control Board or CPCB. This waste, when improperly disposed of, releases toxic substances like lead and mercury into the environment, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and undermining climate resilience. Furthermore, plastic pollution is rampant, with India generating around 3.3 million tons of plastic waste annually. Improper disposal and incineration of this waste release harmful pollutants into the atmosphere, exacerbating air quality issues and contributing to climate change. Together, these forms of urban pollution not only jeopardize public health but also creates a cycle that undermines India's ability to fulfill its climate commitments, highlighting the urgent need for comprehensive waste management and pollution control measures. Above statistics clearly reflect that situation is grim. Pollution, the silent epidemic undermining the health of our nation, in its various forms, affects the quality of life, hampering the right to life itself. Choking progress: how urban pollution stifles India's growth dreams. As one of the fastest growing economies, India relies heavily on its urban centers for development. However, rising levels of air, water, and noise pollution impose a substantial economic burden. The World Bank estimates that air pollution costs India approximately $150 billion annually in healthcare expenses and lost productivity, diverting crucial resources from development initiatives. High pollution levels also lead to decreased workforce productivity and increased absenteeism, particularly affecting labor-intensive sectors and the gig economy. Additionally, pollution can deter foreign and domestic investment, as environmentally unsustainable practices raise concerns among investors. The tourism sector suffers as polluted cities become less attractive to visitors, impacting local economies reliant on tourism revenue. Moreover, pollution exacerbates social inequalities, particularly affecting marginalized communities, which can lead to social unrest and undermine political stability. Stricter environmental regulations, while necessary to combat pollution, may increase operational costs for industries, further affecting competitiveness. Now, if we dig further, we will get to know that while pollution casts a shadow over all, it plunges marginalized workers, household help, gig economy warriors, and street vendors into a deeper crisis of survival. Pollution, a heavy burden on the shoulders of the economic downtrodden. Urban pollution significantly impacts gig workers, street vendors, household workers, and residents of slum areas. Gig workers face health risks from air and noise pollution, which can lead to respiratory issues and reduced earnings due to fewer customers. Street vendors rely on foot traffic, and pollution can deter potential buyers, jeopardizing their livelihoods. Household workers experience poor indoor air quality and often lack healthcare access, making them vulnerable to health issues that affects their income. Residents of slum areas endure harsh environmental conditions, resulting in health problems and limited access to clean resources, further entrenching their poverty. Together, these factors create a cycle of economic and health challenges for them. Now, the impact is not restricted here. As we have stated earlier, its impact is manifold. One of the major impacts of this menace is how it's accelerating the process of climate change and creating bottlenecks for India in achieving its climate pledges. By looking at the above argument, one can easily complain that why we are paying taxes. For what we are paying taxes if we can't get those basic amenities of life? But we easily overlook the fact that we ourselves are the architects of our own destruction through pollution. Here are the reasons for that. Loose civic sense contribute to urban pollution by fostering a culture of negligence and apathy towards environmental issues. For example, a report from the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, shows that approximately 30% of urban waste is recyclable, yet many residents fail to sort their waste correctly, leading to contamination and increased landfill use. Additionally, a lack of civic engagement often results in insufficient advocacy for green spaces and public transportation, which can exacerbate air quality issues. Hypercapitalism, commodity fetishism, and fast fashion are significant contributors to urban pollution, exacerbating environmental degradation in cities. Hypercapitalism emphasizes relentless consumerism, where profit maximization often overrides ecological considerations. For instance, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation reports that the global fashion industry produces over 92 million tons of waste annually, a large portion of which ends up in landfills, contributing to soil and water contamination. commodity fetishism, the obsession with the consumer goods rather than their production processes, further amplifies this issue. Consumers often prioritize the acquisition of new products without considering the environmental costs of their production and disposal. This mindset drives demand for cheap, disposable items that contribute to a throwaway culture. Fast fashion epitomizes this phenomenon, with brands rapidly producing low-cost clothing that encourages frequent purchase. The cumulative effects of these practices manifest in increased pollution, overcrowded landfills, and a significant rise in carbon emissions in urban environments. Not only general public, even government to some extent fail to keep check on this problem. While India has a number of environmental laws and bodies like the Central Pollution Control Board or CPCB and state-level pollution control boards, the enforcement of these regulations is often weak. For example, despite the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1981, cities like Delhi and Mumbai still grapple with severe air quality issues due to lack of stringent enforcement and monitoring. Corruption and bureaucratic inefficiencies often slow down regulatory action. In addition to this, many Indian cities face haphazard urbanization with poorly planned infrastructure, rapid growth without adequate sewage system, waste management, and green spaces exacerbates pollution problems, creating unviable environments for residents. Too much of critical analysis, right? Is situation all that grim? Of course not. The Indian government has made significant strides in addressing urban pollution through various initiatives and policies aimed at improving air and environmental quality. One of the most notable efforts is the National Clean Air Program, NCAP, launched in 2019, which aims to reduce particulate matter concentrations by 20 to 30% by 2024 in over 120 cities. This program promotes scientific monitoring and data collection, allowing for targeted interventions. Additionally, the implementation of the Swachh Bharat mission has focused on enhancing waste management practices, encouraging community participation in cleanliness drives, and promoting waste segregation at source. The government has also incentivized the adoption of electric vehicles, EVs, through the faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles, FAME scheme, aiming to reduce vehicular emissions in urban areas. Furthermore, the introduction of stringent emission standards for industries and the promotion of green spaces through initiatives like the Urban Forestry Scheme contribute to enhancing urban air quality. These efforts demonstrate the government's commitment to tackling pollution in Indian cities, promoting a healthier environment for urban residents. But still, lots need to be done. If we want to utilize our demography or human resource in a more effective manner, we need to come out with more creative and tech-laden ideas. Turning the tide. Solutions to urban pollution. To effectively tackle urban pollution in India, a multifaceted approach is essential, encompassing government policy, community engagement, and sustainable practices. Strengthening regulatory frameworks is crucial, with stricter environmental regulations and regular monitoring of pollution levels. Promoting sustainable transportation through expanded public transport and electric vehicle infrastructure can significantly reduce vehicular emissions. Enhancing waste management with efficient segregation and recycling initiatives will minimize landfill waste and promote responsible disposal practices. Additionally, prioritizing green urban planning, such as integrating parks and trees into city landscape, can improve air quality and provide ecological benefits. A successful international case study that India can replicate is Singapore, which has implemented strict regulations on vehicle emissions and industrial pollutants while investing in an efficient public transport system. Singapore also emphasizes community participation through clean and green campaigns that foster a collective responsibility towards environmental conservation. By adopting these strategies, India can effectively mitigate urban pollution, improve public health, and create a sustainable urban environment for its citizens. India has the spirit and resources to thrive, by overcoming urban pollution, it can emerge as a global role model for sustainable cities and a cleaner, greener future.